Indivisible Grassroots Pittsburgh, Indivisible Pittsburgh, North Pittsburgh Democratic Volunteer Corps, Order of the Phoenix, the cookie table. That's all Order of the Phoenix, baby. We have Partners for Progress, Southwest PA, Partnership for Positive Progress, Pine Township Democratic Committee, Progress PA, Steel City, Stonewall Democrats, Tuesday with Toomey, and Monday. It's so much fun to say. WTF Pittsburgh. So, without further ado, we're going to give you the elevator speeches of 9 candidates. They're coming up, and I'm going to call them. Amy Fazio first.
Thank you and good evening. We are amazing. Look at all of you. This is really amazing. Thank you very much. I am Amy Fazio. I'm running for Pennsylvania House of Representatives in the 14th District. That is North Beaver County, where we are fracking. We are building the Shell cracker plant. We are desperate for jobs in Beaver County, and we're sacrificing our future for them. I don't read about environmental injustice. It's happening in my neighborhoods, to my family, in my community. And we have to win this seat and drive a communication campaign to engage people to design the futures they want and they deserve. Thank you for your support. We're ready to take District 14 and contribute to the greater good.
Sharon? It's like a tag team.
Hi, I'm Sharon Guidi. I'm running in the 40th District, which is Peters Township, Upper St. Clair, and most of Bethel Park. When I talk to the people at the doors, I want them to know who I am. I'm a teacher. I want to go to Harrisburg and do what I do in the classroom, which is to get people to work together, to be innovators, to be critical thinkers, to be collaborators. And compromise is not a dirty word. It's how we're going to roll up our sleeves and get to work. On the other end of it, I want people to know that I lost my husband a few years ago. And I spent a lot of sleepless nights worrying about how was I going to paint the house and cut the grass and pay for health care. Senior citizens don't know that somebody out there is listening. I want to be that champion for the senior citizens in our district, and I want to be the champion for the kids and the teachers, because I've lived that too. So let's get this blue wave going, and let's get some boots on the ground. Thank you.
Michelle Knoll, running in the 44th.
Good evening. I stand before you, a woman running for a General Assembly in a state that ranks 49th in the country for women representing them. 49th, just above Mississippi. We have one woman who is a representative, a state representative. We have one woman senator from Allegheny County. It's time to change that. There's an expression, if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. Women in this state, girls, can get married at the age of 15 if their parents sign for them and orphan court approves it. Women will change that when we go to Harrisburg. I'm asking you on November 6th to vote for the change that you want to see, to have the courage to envision what can be, and to work with all of us so that we can make a change in our state our General Assembly. We want to go to Harrisburg and work on democracy. Where are you going to be on November 6th? At the polls. What are you going to vote for?
Democrats.
I want you to vote with us so that we can get there and work for you. Thank you very much.
Betsy Monroe. Betsy Monroe? Oh, there she goes. Yay. Okay, thank you, Stacey.
Hi there, I'm Betsy Monroe, and I'm running for House District 30. I'm running because I believe that we have enough politicians and lawyers in Harrisburg. What we really need now is more people with real-world experience, delivered results on finding solutions that work for their community. I have spent my career working to make healthcare more affordable and higher quality for seniors throughout the state. That's the sort of results that we need our representatives to be able to build for across our entire community. That's what I want to do when I get to Harrisburg. My most recent position was at Highmark. I led a project that reached out to seniors to make sure that they have the highest quality care while actively lowering their insurance premiums. Healthcare is a big problem across this community. I see it every single day when I'm knocking doors. I see it and I hear every single day how people are being harmed by the division between Highmark and UPMC. That is my top priority when I get to Harrisburg, building a solution to make these two organizations think of their communities and think of their patients before they think of their pocketbooks. That's what I want to do, to make sure that that providers are indifferent to who pays the bill, so long as they are paid. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your support.
John McCabe.
How you guys doing today? I said, how are you guys doing today? You know, when a tree falls in a forest, there's a sound, there's a snap, there's a crack. When a wave crashes on a shore, there's a pounding. You can hear that movement. But what does a political movement sound like? I said, what does a political movement sound like? That's exactly what a political movement sounds like. We have energy. We need to get people engaged. This is about getting the working class out there. This is about getting the youth out there. And you know what? Since the Parkland shooting, PA has seen the highest youth voter registration in the country. 16%. That is 5 points above the next state, which is Rhode Island. I've helped make this happen. I went to Penn State, New Kensington, and I started a My Vote Matters movement. We registered over 40% of students on campus. We're Scott Wagner's worst nightmare. We're not young and naive. We're informed and engaged. That's what we need right now. So I'm running in the 54th district, which is Murraysville, Lower Borough, Upper Borough, West Deer, and also a little bit of Fawn and Harrison. You guys can help me out any way you can. I'm 22 years old. I know I'm young, but we need some fresh voices right now. We need to fix our democracy. Thank you.
I love a barnstormer. I love a barnstormer. We need barnstormers. Terry Mitko, you're up.
Thank you so much, John, for warming up the crowd. I'm Terry Mitko, and I'm running in the 15th district. And the 15th district encompasses Beaver, some parts of Beaver, and Washington County. So we start up by the cracker plant, and we wind our way down 18 through Center Township and Raccoon and Hanover into some very rural areas in Washington County. So rural, you probably, unless you're from Washington County, have never heard of any of these places. There are more cows down there than there are people. And so what we have is 50% Republican, 50% Democrat, a whole bunch, a couple thousand independents and others. And this is an open seat, which means it's winnable. Slightly more females are registered to vote than males. And I'm going to win this district, and I'm turning it blue again because it's been red for 10 years and nothing's been done for the people of the 15th district. I've never run before. I'm a lawyer by trade, and for the past 3 decades, I've had a practice in Beaver. And I focus on family law. And what that means is that I have a very intimate relationship with my clients. I know what their troubles are. I know what their struggles are. I know what their hopes and dreams are. I know what their finances are. And here's what I know. Our middle class is shrinking. And our lower class, our poor, our working class cannot pull themselves up by their bootstraps like we used to be able to do because there's no opportunity to rise up again. Education is unaffordable. My clients have incredible student debt. And because of that, that's why I'm running. With your help, we can flip this district and a number of other districts. So thank you so much for being here today.
Emily Skopov. So John totally took my speech, like word for word. So I gotta scramble for something. I'm watching you, timekeeper. It's like the Academy Awards that I'm never going to get. So first of all, I want to say I am Emily Skopov. I always forget to say that. Apparently, I think you can read my button. I am running in the 28th district, which is Marshall Township, Bradford Woods, Pine, McCandless, Franklin Park, and I am running against Mike Turzai. That's my whole speech. No, but I always laugh and I say if I knew that would make me the most popular person in any room, I would have said I was running against Mike Turzai a long time ago. But here's the thing about my district. People will say to me, how can we support you? Of course, no one in this room, because you all know how to support all of these candidates. People will say, how do we support you? I mean, I'm not even in your district. Here's the thing. If you live in Pennsylvania, you are in Mike Turzai's district, whether you know it or not. That man has abused his power for too long. And there's a book right down there, I noticed, that says, I guess I can say it, the shit Trump says, right? I'm running because it's the shit that Mike Turzai does. And it's not just because of what he does, it's because it's against everything that everybody in this room stands for. I think it's critically important and symbolic that we're doing this today at the PFT, because really, public education should be our #1 priority in Pennsylvania, because that is our future. I'm running because of all the kids in this state and the Democrats. Someone asked me, why are you a Democrat? I say I'm a Democrat because Democrats know how to help people succeed. Democrats give people the tools for success. Is that me? Oh God, there comes the fist. The important point is my opponent takes money out of public education, and the Democrats are there not just for education but for our future. I believe that this party and this room is filled with people who are actually optimistic about the future and who are ready to get us there to where we need to be, especially for the kids. So thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it, and it's going to be more than just a wave. This is going to be just the beginning of the next several decades of our lives. So thank you guys.
Dan the Man Smith.
You want to go? You can do me the time too? Oh, really? Is it my turn? Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. I do appreciate it. My name is Daniel Smith, and I am running against Daryl Metcalf. I'm going to make it short and sweet. I actually asked him one question, and one question only, during one of his Christmas get-togethers. There was all 10 constituents of our district was there, and I asked him why wasn't our main roads, Freedom Road and 228, expanded, and he point blank said, it's not the state's job. That's all. I said, okay, well, where's my money going? He said, you need to talk to local leaders. So I talked to local leaders. He's been obstructing for the past 18 years in our district, and our constituents don't know that. My name is Daniel Smith, and I'm an alternative to Daryl Metcalf. Give me your literature. That is what Republicans are saying when I go door to door. That is how we're turning this district around. We've reached over 9,000 Republican doors. We have turned the horn on our next 9,000, and we're not even started yet. That's how we're going to turn this district, because local issues are not partisan issues. When EMS ends up asking for, when we call EMS, they don't look at our political registration. They come to our door. Our politicians shouldn't treat them on the chopping block the way they do. When our teachers end up teaching our children, they don't look at their party's affiliation or their family, they teach them. They deserve more from our politicians for full funding and support. I cannot do this without all your help and with all these wonderful candidates. We are going to win this thing. We are going to turn this thing. We need your help. Continue with your help. And with everybody's help here, we are going to take our legislature back. Thank you very much.
I'm very pleased to ask our candidate for State Senate, Lindsey Williams.
Hi, everybody. Lindsey Williams. This is actually where I work. So welcome to the building. So I'm running for State Senate, District 38, so it's a little bit of the city, East Liberty, Lincoln-Larimer, Highland Park, a little bit of Homewood, and then across the river, Etna, Millvale, Shaler, all the way up to Natrona Heights, and then out through Ross and McCandless, out to Pine Richland, to Allegheny County line. So this is a district that we can absolutely win, and we should. It should be back with us, with somebody who's going to fight for working families, for public education, affordable health care, and that's what we haven't had and what I'm running, to do in Harrisburg. And it's something, every day I'm out, not every day, but as much as I possibly can, knocking on doors, and people are responding to that message about wanting somebody who cares about the issues that they care about and is really willing to listen and fight for them. And so I was in Shaler the other day, and I knocked on a door, a Republican woman, went through my little spiel, and she said, okay, I'll consider you. And I walked away, and she's like, I'll read this. And I walked down to the edge of the driveway, got to the end, and was looking at my list to see where I was going next. And I hear the door open back up, and she yells, Lindsay. I turn around, she's like, you have my vote. So everything you can do, we can win if you keep doing that between now and November 6th. Thank you.
I also want to thank Senator Jay Costa, who's here today. And Sarah, I missed you. I didn't see you come in. Come on up. Would you like to say a few words?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Say hi.
And Mike Lamb is here with us, and earlier we had Connor Lamb here. And we got to meet Dan Frankel's here. Yes, great. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris Rust.
Hi, everybody. So I'd like to ask the Progress PA volunteers if you could come grab these cards and the pens here. So I want to thank everybody for the support that you are showing these candidates just by being here, the donations that you've already made to the Yin's Vote PAC. This is the first kind of event that we've had, the first event of this kind that we've had in this area that I know of. And I think it's so important, not just because we want to flip these districts, and we absolutely do, but Democrats have been ignoring these districts for far too long. We need to be competing in every district in Pennsylvania. And here in Pittsburgh, we need to be paying attention to these districts in our own backyard and helping these terrific candidates who are taking their time, their own treasure, and making enormous sacrifice to stand up for us and to give voters in their district a choice. So it's so important that you've already been helping out. Now that you've gotten to hear these candidates, you have a sense of who each of them are. I would like to ask that those of you who can, dig a little deeper, pick 1 or 2 or 5 or 9 candidates that that really impressed you, and donate directly to their campaign so that we can really give them the kind of support they need to produce the literature, to have the staff, to do all the things that they need to do in their district. The other thing that I'm going to ask you to do is to take the cards that are in your hand, and I have a bunch of pens here. Can some of the volunteers come grab these pens and make these available to people? Oh, come on, people. Somebody besides who doesn't have a boot can help help Stacy out. So let me ask that you commit to help with your time, in addition to or instead of your money. We need help with knocking on doors. That's the best way you can help. It's also helpful to make phone calls. You can, even if you don't live in these districts, if you want to help somebody in Beaver County, but you don't want to drive to Beaver County, you can make phone calls. You can write postcards. We need help at the polls on election day. if you're willing to volunteer to represent these candidates at a poll, if you can give up a full or a half day, show us that. So if you would take a minute in the next, we're here till 7:30. If you could take a few minutes, fill out this card, and hand it back to any of the Progress PA volunteers. A lot of them have T-shirts like we have down here, right? You can give them to Stacy, to me, to any of the people who checked you in. If you could return these cards to us today, that would be great.
Okay. Now, we're here to have fun. This is a beach party. Have you tried our pina colada or our liberal lime drink? We also have games outside and can award these terrific prizes. Those of you that donned the appropriate beach apparel are being judged for a top prize in your beachy outfit. So go have fun, mix and mingle, get to know these candidates, and thank you for being here.